I've heard that here at LaGuardia, faculty play a really important role in advising also. So you and your colleagues in SAS, Student Advising Services, fundamental, but there's a lot of advising work done by faculty. Tell me more about that, because I haven't had a chance to learn about that yet. I hear that it's key.
It's absolutely key. We wouldn't be here without them. You know, they provided us the degree maps. They gave us the tools in order to provide students with sound advice. But also, I mean, we don't know it all. So when the student is inquiring about careers or what to do, or they're choosing between two different options, medical school or biology, we have to seek out the faculty for their support and understanding, or just guiding the students. But there's a lot of great conversations, because the faculty do share with us how to go about certain conversations with students regarding the career or the major itself, or certain courses and the requirements and the rigors that will take place in each of the courses. So, I mean, they are absolutely, I mean, I've had a chance to work with a number of faculty, and they've been phenomenal. They're very student-centered, and, you know, we enjoy our work with them. And you know, each area is so different, so we've created advising teams, and sometimes the students may not put two and two together, but we have our health science team, our education team, our STEM team. And so Laura was the co-leader of two teams, one for STEM for a couple of years, and then she transitioned to health science. And so we make sure all the advisors get to rotate and get familiar with each of the programs, the majors, as well as the faculty.
That's really interesting. And you're right, you couldn't do that advising, or the college couldn't provide complete advising services without all that support from the faculty. And you know, it stands to reason, LaGuardia has over 60 academic programs. It would be really hard for you all, who have to be kind of generalists, to have in-depth knowledge of each one of those programs, right? And students need to know how to, you know, how to advance through a program and, you know, get their credits on time and successfully, and graduate on time, and you know, have that most efficient pathway to the degree, to the transfer, to the job. So I could see that that's a really important sort of organizational structure. You know, in some campuses, frankly, advisors are organized around majors, right? And they don't do the rotation you just described that helps you develop, as advisors move through these different clusters of majors, expertise.
It's important for the advisors to know a little bit of everything, because you just have to prepare. I mean, you know, I was out on maternity leave twice, right? I mean, we had to have people just jump in and support. And so that happens often with the advisors. You know, we want to make sure that all students are supported, that everyone has at least a baseline knowledge of the different programs. And then when in doubt, you know, the program directors, they've all been so accessible and responsive to us. And, you know, again, we've worked closely with academic affairs to provide us with that guidance. And when in doubt, we'll send an email, they'll respond, and we're able to provide students with that guidance.
Quick question for both of you. You see so many students, you're on the front lines advising them in this time of COVID, all these challenges, online learning. It must be overwhelming, and it must be hard to stay in touch with the students that you're helping. How do you know when your advising has been successful and the student has gone on, you know, to be successful?
So for me, we have an impeccable mechanism to record like the summary of the conversations and see the history of the students. And so usually when you're speaking with students, I would look at the SEMS history, review what's happened, and that is where I see the transition, like where they started and where they've ended up. And oftentimes when they're coming back for, let's say they just want to check in for graduation, then I know we've been successful. When the student, we've designed an intervention, well, I shouldn't say we designed, IT helped us design an intervention portal, and Laura could speak more to it. But when we connect the student to the faculty, when we connect the students to the services that they need in order to be successful, and they say, yes, I got it, you know, I've been in touch with them, then we've known we've done our job. Laura, anything you want to add?
For me, at the most core basic level, the most important thing is connection and engagement. My biggest fear in terms of what I consider a failure is losing touch with a student, or a student losing touch with the college. And so in terms of what I consider success, that's always going to go on to the student. If you have a GPA you want to achieve, or if you have a career that is your dream job, you know, those kinds of definitions of success can vary. But just hearing from a student and then hearing from a student again is very inspiring for me, and it makes me feel like there's a good chance I'm doing my job in helping them. So just, again, staying connected, you know, and that's the most important advice I give to all students is no matter what, like, ask the question that you're not sure if you should ask, reach out to your professor, even if it's just to introduce yourself. So the engagement and the connection to the college experience and the people who want to help you is the absolute fundamental level of where success can begin. And me being able to maintain communication with my students is the most important thing. And I don't care if it's email, or if it's the ask an advisor, or if we make a phone appointment, or if I chat with you online, but especially in these times, speaking with so many students and doing it in this virtual new way, just hearing from students and then hearing from them again in the future, knowing whatever we talked about last time, we get to follow up on it this time. That's enough to make me feel like we're in a really good direction and something really promising for what we call success with our students.
President Adams, I want to add that's been the biggest difference for us, because we don't often get to have that one-on-one engagement with the students and have that connection. It's been a really nice time for the advisors to have those repeated interactions with those students and know where did they start from point A to point B. And we're going to continue those caseloads with them now in the fall. They're going to keep those same students, thus maintaining the relationship. And so that the connection is really what we're looking forward to, what we have been doing, and what we look forward to continuing to have with those students.
You know, I want to wrap up with an observation and a big thank you. The observation, listening to you both, it's clear that you couldn't provide complete and effective advising and support services to our LaGuardia students without the faculty, and that they are so key in advising here at LaGuardia. And that's really special. But also listening to you, it sounds like another key ingredient is technology, and all the folks in IT, all the platforms, the databases, and the tracking systems that enable you to serve large caseloads. Without that and to maintain, as Laura says, that connectivity, like staying connected to students. So big shout out to all the folks in IT. You know, I'm reminded of something in listening to you both. Remember back when COVID in New York City was really bad, 7 o'clock every night, people would go outside, go to their windows and clap for the frontline workers, which was a really nice thing that we all did. But I'm reminded that in the world of public higher education, a place like LaGuardia Community College, you all as advisors are like our frontline workers, because you're making, you're to use Laura's word, you're ensuring that connectedness. You're ensuring that students kind of, you know, don't lose touch and lose connections with LaGuardia, that they stay engaged, that they stay on their path, on their educational plan, and that they succeed. And that outreach and that support you provide is very much a frontline service that in these times, of course, is vital. So big thank you to all of you, your colleagues and yourselves, the leadership of your areas, and I look forward to working with you in the weeks and months ahead. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
It's great to speak with you, and welcome. Officially, we're happy to have you.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you and nice to have you on board. Thank you.
Thank you.